Welcome to Poppa Smokes Coffee and a Spliff. I'm your host, Poppa Smoke. What is the Church of Rock'n'Roll.org? What is it really? Well, for one, it's not a real church at all. I don't do religion. Anybody who's ever talked to me and asked me about religion knows that I think that religion is the most harmful thing on the face of the planet to the human condition because it's about subjugation and control and telling you will do this or else, and having the church or the religion be the authority in your life. I am down with spirituality, which says you lead you, you can receive guidance from anywhere, and your connection to whatever you feel God is your personal connection, and not something that you need to force other people to believe, or they're going to go to hell, or some other crazy stuff that these religions throw at people. The Church of Rock'n'Roll.org is also a place that celebrates artists of all kinds. I dabble in a little bit of a lot of different things between writing, poetry. I write short stories. I do a little bit of sketch work from time to time. I've even dabbled in painting. I've done a little songwriting. I've done a little sculpting. I've done a little bit of it all. I like to dabble in it because for me, it gives me a better understanding of the different artists there are in this world and what it is that is drives the passion for them. The Church of Rock'n'Roll.org is dedicated to two things: building a theological spiritual center that has a lot of different resources available for people to engage in self-study, and then there's people there to answer questions about what it is somebody's studying so they can make sure they're understanding it, but not be pushed one direction or another. The other thing is the artist commune. The artist commune is not your typical kind of artist commune in what I have envisioned. I want to have things like a small film studio, recording studio, as well as having a place for people who do sculpting of every kind, including welding art, place for woodworkers. If gardening and landscaping is your art, there will be an extensive garden area for you to create. A place for painters to sit and paint. A place for writers to have a quiet place to sit and write. Whatever your art is. A place for glass blowers. There's some amazing glass art being created these days. I see a lot of it just here on the streets of my hometown when I'm hanging out from the basement Friday night. There's a couple of guys who bring out their glass art. That is, it's amazing. It's just as good as anything you'll find anywhere else in the world, if not better, in my opinion. And I've seen it up close and personal and love the stuff. What the Church of Rock'n'Roll.org is not is another religion or another attempt to have a non-religion religion. That's why I use psychospirituality, psychology, spirituality, and philosophy. It's important for us as human beings to understand from a psychological aspect why it is we do what we do, to give us better options of what to do about it. Spirituality is acknowledging that we are spirit wrapped in flesh and that each of us has the ability to connect to whatever it is that we feel comfortable with calling God and having a personal relationship with that. Philosophy is the things that we say that we're going to live. It's the talk that we're telling everybody we're walking, our personal philosophies. There are a lot of times in life in which we will grab onto a little something that we thought sounded really cool or looked really neat, and then we try and live it and we're like, okay, wait a minute, this is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm not sure I want to do this. Then don't do it. I like to keep things simple in my life, and I also work very diligently at living my integrity. Integrity is something that tells you to take a stand because you feel it from within. This is how you feel about it. And there's no shame in saying, yes, this is how I feel. And you don't do that because you're looking for a fight or to, anything like that. But if somebody is going to ask your opinion, if you don't have one, I don't have one. I haven't given it much thought. If you do have an opinion on it and you say that I'd just rather not answer, you look weak and spineless. Just totally weak and spineless. And that's not being you. That's not being the authentic you. That's not daring to be you. That's not bringing it from within your soul. And you're doing yourself the greatest disservice you ever could by not seeing the value in you to present what it is that you feel or think on a particular issue when somebody asks you about it. So let's take 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm feeling particularly silly this morning. I'm sure you guys can understand. Anyway, let's take 5 minutes and let's think about the last time that you had the opportunity to answer a question point blank and you dodged the bullet by not answering. Think to yourself why you did that. And have fun figuring out what you're going to do next time somebody asks you a question like that, point blank, asking for your opinion, asking you to take a stand on an issue. How are you going to handle it next time? Have fun. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.